866-99 Sirius 866-997-4748. I want y'all to watch something and hear something right now. Something that went viral. As a matter of fact, if you would, this is Before You Call the Cops, courtesy of Now This. I think I got it here. Yeah, there we go.
Was yelling my alarm clock.
Here we go. Let me start it from the beginning. There we go.
Before you call the cops, I just want you to know. The first thing that I did when I woke up this morning was yell at my alarm clock. My parents were raised in the South. I have to roll Tide or they'll disown me. They raised me in Las Vegas. That city still has my heart. I hate spiders. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not proud about it. I've done goat yoga. I'm really not proud about that. I can tell you every single word off the NWA Straight Outta Compton album. I can also sing you every single word from Oklahoma. Bananas are disgusting. I am a Christian. I spend almost every Sunday morning teaching kids in Sunday school. I am often asked if I am Muslim. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty much convinced if you met my mother, you'd automatically become a better person. My father is a veteran. He taught me how to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, to everyone that I meet. I don't hate our president. I pray for him. I love basketball and also hockey. This is my brother, James. This is my brother, Mike. This is my brother, John. And this is my brother, Rob. I've never been to jail. I've never owned a gun. I hate that anyone at all might possibly be afraid of me. I'd go around the world and back again if I knew that single act might make your day better. I'm a proud man. I'm a proud black man. Does any of this really matter? No. I just wanted you to get to know me better before you call the cops.
Tyler Merritt, the Tyler Merritt project. We just showed you, and what an incredible and poignant message that was. Joining us now is Tyler Merritt. Tyler, God bless you. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Rev, let me tell you first, man. I'm great. I'm blessed, man. Let me tell you first, before we even get started, it is an honor to be talking to you in a time period we have so much stuff going around that can suck. We rarely get the chance to acknowledge the people that are worth acknowledging. And Mark, man, everything that you have done as a pioneer for so many things, you need to know that it is an honor for me to be talking to you right now, my friend.
Well, Tyler, that's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Although when you say pioneer, my brother, it makes me sound kind of old.
Hey, you know what, man? Look, you and I both got some silver fox going on, man. So I can't even argue with. Hey, you made silver fox cool, man. So that's why I ain't got no dye in my hair, man.
But time out though. You're in Nashville?
And I know, man, you got some Nashville history. Yes, sir. I'm in Nashville right now.
Well, I was raised in Nashville. I was born in D.C., man. So that's great. So man, that was such a poignant piece. What inspired you to do that?
There were a number of things, but long story, a little bit shorter, man. God, maybe about 2 years ago, I walk a lot in the area, and I live over by Percy Priest Lake, which I love the fact you know where that is.
Yeah.
And, I was crossing the street one day. This is just one example, and there was obviously an older white woman sitting in her car at the crosswalk. And I usually jog or walk in a black hoodie with a headband on, with my Beats headphones, and just like whatever it would be that I have on. But I also know that I can look relatively intimidating as a 6'2" black man. And as I began to cross the road, I purposely, as she was at the red light, I purposely took my hoodie down, took my glasses off, put my headphones around my neck, tried to basically make myself look as safe as I possibly could for this woman. And as I walked across the street, I smiled with a fake smile, but a smile to be like, hey, waved a little bit. And, man, you would have thought that a ghost was coming up to her car. She fumbled to do everything she could to lock the door and try to protect herself, to the point where my smile turned into like are you for real right now? And I kept walking, and my thought, Rev, was I just did everything I possibly could do to humanize myself to you, and it still didn't work. And then I began to ask the question, why do I even have to humanize myself?
Right.
Like, what world do we live in that I have to purposely set something up to make you feel better? All that being said, I began to think, if she knew what I was playing in my headphones at the time, I think I was listening to a musical called Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay.
Which is like the most non-threatening piece of work ever. I was thinking, man, if she knew me, if she actually knew who I was, I wonder if she would wave or smile, or if she had other black people in her life who she knew well, if she would look at me and think to herself, that reminds me of my friend Chris, or that reminds me of my friend, you know what I'm saying? So with that, on top of all the other things that come along, man, I try to put out content that is applicable to where we are now and what speaks to me. Therefore, this video came along, especially with all the things that happen with Starbucks. And I don't have to tell you all the stuff that's going on, man, but that was essentially the motivation for it.
Yeah, 24,300 views, almost 5,000 retweets. And listen, we all go through it, the locking of the doors, the clutching of the purses. I try to move, aim for 4 corners on an elevator. But I've been in that situation, and I can't find. It's like I'm looking for the 5th corner to go crawl into, because I feel I'm conscious when folk act like they're uncomfortable around me, and I used to have a partner, man, bless his soul. He's deceased now, but he would just do the opposite of us, brother. He would say, "Why are you uncomfortable?" He'd make it worse. But but listen, man, this is incredible. So I wish we had more time to talk. We have to have you back when we have more time. We've got a full house today, but we wanted to get this out there. Is this what you're spending a lot of your time doing now, producing and doing this kind of work and producing these kinds of videos?
Man, I'm an actor, so you understand how the industry can work. We do a lot of sitting around waiting for people to approve us to be a part
brother,
of it.
I've been sitting around since Fahrenheit 9/11. That's the only movie I did. I had a cameo in that, and I thought I was on my way. And every time I see Denzel and then mother brother say, y'all done took all the roles I had, so I know what it means to be sitting around. Why you over there laughing, Shay? All right, go. But yeah.
Right. I hear you, man. All that to say, as we sit around kind of waiting for someone to approve what we're doing,
yeah,
I began to create my own content with the passion behind what I did. I was super blessed that now this picked it up after I had received about 100,000 plus views on Facebook. It has 9 million views, man, on Facebook.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. I'm looking on Twitter. I didn't know that. Unreal.
Creating your own content is what I do while I'm continuing to do all the other things that I dream about.
You the man. I'm telling you. Right. You the man, brother.
And look, listen, my main goal, I'll feel like mama, I made it, Mark, when I'm sitting next to you on MSNBC talking about something that matters, man. So,
well, wait a minute, bro. You an actor. No, don't even do that. You an actor. You make it when we get you up here on The Great White Way. I'm up here working with the Sisters and Brothers with Selma the Musical. They're premiering in New York this weekend at the National Black Theater, trying to help them make it downtown too. So that's what we got to do for MSNBC. That's nice. But if you an actor, we got to get you up here where Dick Gregory was and get you down here in Midtown on stage, brother. So let's work on that. And I'm in your corner, okay?
All right, my friend.
All right, brother. Look, good to talk to you. And we'll stay in close touch. Folks, you all check this out. I've tweeted it and retweeted it. Look at it on Facebook. Consider this man's words before you call the cops on a black person. Tyler Merritt down in Nashville. Let's talk offline too, Tyler, okay? I'll call you a little later, brother, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Rev.
All right, man. Take care now. Tyler Merritt, our very special guest at TTM Project on the Twitter. 866-99-SIRIUS. As you can see, we've got a guest in studio. Not the first time that she's been here. We're happy to have her back here from Democracy Forward. And folks who are kind enough to come in the studio early in the morning get brownie points, too, I swear. Charisma Troiano is here with us of Democracy Forward. Charisma, how are you?
I am good.
You're fine. Good. Is her mic up? We don't have her mic up yet. Yeah, here we go. We got it now. How are you?
I'm great. It's a great day. It's beautiful in New York.
It is. It is.
It's been a minute.
Lord
Yes.
have mercy. Because last week we were still on January the 100th.
Oh, I know. Still have not put away the winter coat as of yet.
So tell us the latest. You all, is it true you all just won a victory in Baltimore? Tell us about that.
A great victory. And thank you for having me back on
Of course.
because, Mark, you followed this case from the very beginning. And this was our case on behalf of the city of Baltimore as well as the nonprofit group Healthy Teen Network. We were challenging the Trump administration's unlawful cuts to the teen pregnancy prevention program, which last summer, without any explanation, the Trump administration came in and yanked mid-cycle grants from over 80 teen pregnancy prevention program grantees. We ended up representing a couple of them. So recently, about last month, we won a great victory in Maryland federal court where a judge ultimately ruled that the Trump administration did, in fact, act unlawfully in pulling these grants without any reasoned explanation. And so our win was number 3. There have been 3 wins so far in multiple cases across the country, from Washington State to D.C. as well as in Maryland. So it's a trend showing that judges are actually coming and realizing how the administration has acted illegally in this particular regard.
And obviously understanding that the courts are a co-equal branch of government.
That's right.
That is
That's
really
right.
necessary. And this is why elections matter, folk, and getting out voting for president, because presidents appoint these people to the courts for years. So many of these are lifetime appointments. So this is good. So specifically, what does this mean? Will the funding be restored or what?
Yeah, so it's important to note, and thank you for asking that question, that with these cases, money was not awarded in these cases. Essentially what the judges said was that A, the administration acted unlawfully, and that B, in order for you, because these are multi-year grants, to continue getting your grant funding each year, you have to submit a non-compete application, essentially showing the government that you're adhering to the grant terms, what your progress is. So now the courts have said, Trump administration, you have to look at these non-compete applications for the year 4 grants that these grantees are now up for and apply the standards under the law. In other words, you can't just kind of like on a whim terminate these grants. Again, you need to have a lawful reason if you do feel the need to say that these grantees aren't adhering or performing up to the grant standards. And it would be a little shocking if the Trump administration comes back after reviewing the year 4 non-compete applications for these grantees, because at least for the grantees that we've been working with, they have been praised by HHS. There hasn't been an instance in which they have been told or advised that they were acting outside of their grant terms. So, we will wait and see. But I will also note that what's really cool about these cases is that because of these 3 wins, with the Trump administration now sitting at 0-3, you've now seen a number of other grantees feel more courageous to step up and stand up to the Trump administration. You now have a class action suit against the Trump administration with a number of grantees who weren't in that initial round, who are now saying, wait, now our grants were also unlawfully cut, and we need to have this addressed.
So is this it in terms of the courts? Any chance that he and the administration might appeal?
There is a chance that they would appeal. It doesn't look like that's happening at this moment. But we will just remain diligent and see and vigilant as to what the administration does with the year 4 grants.
So this is teen pregnancy prevention we're talking about, folks.
Yep. That's right. And I also wanted to note, too, that while, we've been successful in this particular instance, the Trump administration does continue to attack women's health. It continues to attack women's access to information about their health. I'm sure, you and your viewers are aware of the domestic gag rule that is expected to come down fairly soon, which would prevent organizations such as Planned Parenthood that receive a certain subset of funding, which are called Title X funding, from even referring or mentioning the options of abortion or other health measures in that ilk to women who are looking for options in order to deal with either unwanted pregnancies or their health in general. So, this is a great win as far as the teen pregnancy prevention cases are concerned, but, the fight still continues.
You trying to host your own show? Because you come in early in the morning and then you start to speak to the very next question I was going to ask. You on it. Look at this sister. She's great. So let me just ask a follow-up then, because let me make a statement first.
Yeah.
That's sickening. You're going to undermine the prevention of teen pregnancy, then institute a gag rule against women, including young women, low-income young women, finding out what all of their reproductive health options are. So what's up, Charisma? Are they they want all these girls out here just to be knocked up? That's what it looks like to me. And maybe he's going to impregnate all of them and then get a friend to pretend like he did it and give Michael Cohen the money to cover for that friend.
I was just about to go there to Michael
Don't
Cohen.
get me started.
Right?
I don't want to get Democracy Forward in trouble. Y'all nonprofit. Let me stop.
It is an interesting situation that we find ourselves in at a time where teen pregnancy rates are at historic lows, across every demographic within all 50 states, that this is the trajectory that the administration has chosen to go, which is essentially turning back the clock on progress. And we do know, thanks to FOIA litigation that we've also been engaged in, as to who is behind these cuts, the anti-science individuals who directed the cuts to these programs while boxing out career experts who have been there for many, many years and who, have teen health as their expertise. So it's a unfortunate and troubling trend that we're seeing with this administration.
No question about it, and it's appalling. This is women's health. These are young women who are jeopardized by this, and they don't care. And folks, make America great again. So in with his crew, that means, women aren't making decisions. Women sure ain't running for president. Women ain't talking all the way. You could host talk show if you wanted to.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and don't get me started, because Brittany tell you, I'll just walk out and then you be on. I just walked out one day and she was hosting the show. I told her I was going.
Send me the notes. And
I told her I was going to the
right
bathroom. I didn't come back. That's how I learned. They just threw me on. It's like throwing a baby in the pool. But no, you can handle it. But it's like, let's just exploit women completely, subjugate them. It's sickening in 2018. With all this going on. Not a lot of time left. You all are also challenging the VA appointee, the VA designee. Talk to us about that real quick.
So, while we pay attention and start reading Trump's tweets or statements on this Memorial Day, I do think that it's key to note, the legal quagmire that this administration, particularly President Trump, has put the VA leadership. And so, in a nutshell, we are challenging, along with our partners, Vote Vets, the unlawful tenure and appointment of Robert Wilkie to serve as the acting VA secretary, which, of course, came to be because the president unceremoniously fired the actual VA secretary, and now former VA secretary David Shulkin, unceremoniously via a tweet. And so, because of that action, the President Trump essentially bypassed who would be next in line, which would have been David Shulkin's deputy, whose name is Thomas Bowman. But instead, what President Trump ended up doing was plucking Robert Wilkie from a completely different agency. Robert Wilkie was in the Department of Defense, not even in the Veterans Affairs, and then installed him as the acting VA secretary, which in our estimation, and as the law clearly states, the line of succession is Deputy Bowman.
Website?
democracyforward.org.
All right, Charisma. She has it too. She's got the right name. Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with you on Monday Same bat time, same bat chart. Have a happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. If all minds are clear, it has been made plain. Thank you, Charisma. Thank you for coming in. Bless you. All right.